Good afternoon, student. Today we will study about the temperature variations. Temperature variations among the most important ecological factor and together with the moisture determine in a large degree the distribution of plant over large area of the earth. The effect of temperature on the vegetation of a place can be studied best by recording the seasonal variation and diurnal fluctuation of the temperature and not by finding only the annual mean temperature. While annual mean temperature is very low in the subarctic, the vegetation may consist of forest supported by warm summer. Conversely, desert of the temperate zone have a very high annual mean temperature and yet vegetation may be poor because of winter frost. Temperature denote the heat energy available from solar radiation. Solar radiation at the limits of our atmosphere is equivalent to about 2 calorie per square centimeter per minute. 50% of these reach of the earth and the rest is absorbed, scattered or reflected within the atmosphere. The radiation of the heat from the ground is called terrestrial radiation. The difference between solar incoming radiation and terrestrial outgoing radiation is called the net radiation. It is usually positive during the day and the night, negative during the night time. Variations in temperature. Temperature of a place is largely determined by its distance from the equator, that is, on the latitude of the place. The temperature is maximum at the equator and decrease gradually as one goes to the north or to the south. The vegetation of the earth can therefore be grouped under different temperature zones: equatorial forest, tropical forest, coniferous forest, alpine vegetation. On the mountain with the increasing altitude, temperature decreases resulting in a similar pattern of vegetation. The species are generally specific in their tolerance to temperature variation and therefore mountain shows a clear change in the distribution of species at different altitude. According to Skimper's first law, while the general type of vegetation is not related to temperature, the type of flora of a particular region is determined by it. Beside latitude and altitude, the temperature of a place is also affected by clouds, wind, water content of the soil, soil cover, slope and exposure of the mountain. Plant communities growing in different places are adapted for different temperature. There is a very wide range of tolerance of temperature among the plant species. The subarctic coniferous forests thrive at as low as 80 °F whereas the desert plant can withstand temperature of 140 °F. Extremely dry plants structure like the seeds and spore can survive in a wide temperature variation. Every plant community has its own minimum, optimum and maximum temperature for its overall growth and development. The temperature and the length of the vegetative season affect the physiognomy of the individual plant of the whole vegetation. In the warm tropics, the plant continue to grow luxuriantly through the year, while in the cold Arctic and the mountain top, the plant have a very short vegetative season and therefore they have condensed shoot, rosette plants, small leaves, etc. Effect of temperature on the plant. Plant affect the rate of metabolic activity of plant. Cardinal temperature differ for the different function of the same plant. The rate of photosynthesis and respiration increases with increase in temperature. Temperature control of photosynthesis, respiration, relationship play an important role in the food reserve for plant, particularly of the underground storage type and fruiting one. High temperature during day increases the rate of photosynthesis and low temperature during night reduces the rate of respiration considerably, so that the photosynthetic products are conserved and stored. High temperature decrease the relative humidity of the atmosphere and this increase the rate of transpiration. Conversely, decrease in temperature, increase in relative humidity and this reduces the rate of transpiration. Temperature affects the ratio of cuticular to stomatal transpiration. High temperature increases the rate of cuticular transpiration even if the stomatas are closed. Example in night. Temperature and plant geography. According to Dobenmeier, temperature limit the range of plant species directly or indirectly as follows. Poleward or upper altitudinal limit are set by the following. Temperature may be so low that it kills the protoplasm. Summer heat may result in accumulation of carbon compound in different degree. Summer heat ability to stimulate reproduction. Parasites which become active only at low temperature. Unfavorable combination of day and night temperature. Second point is the equatorial or lower altitudinal limit are set by the following. Temperature may be so high that it kills the protoplasm. The relationship between the photosynthesis and respiration. The winter temperatures inability to cause germination, growth and sexual reproduction. Parasite which become active only at high temperature. Unfavorable combination of day and night temperature. High temperature accompanied with heavy rainfall result in a very luxuriant vegetation of a great complexity and diversity. Example, the tropical rainforest. In the temperate region, the plants are adapted for low temperature and the vegetation consists of coniferous tree like pine and dicot like oak, beeches and chestnut. In very cold polar and the alpine region of the tropical or temperate mountain, the plant grow sparsely and remain dwarf. Cold injury or cold resistant. The degree of injury that the plant suffer from low temperature depend on the degree and duration of minimum temperature. The suddenness of change on the mineral and moisture content of tissue and on adaptational character. There are three ways in which plants are injured because of temperature. They are desiccation, chilling injury and freezing injury. In winter, when the transpiration rate is very high and the rate of absorption is very slow, due to low temperature, the tissue are desiccated and injured. High velocity of wind, particularly after a period of cold weather, have strong drying effect. On the other hand, low temperature increases the viscosity of the soil water as well as the root protoplasm. The metabolic activity of the root decreases, resulting in decrease in the growth of root. All these reduce the rate of absorption of water. The water balance difficulty of the plant result in their desiccation. Plant grow in hot climate if exposed to low temperature which is above the freezing point. If exposed to low temperature which is above the freezing point for some time are found to be killed or injured severely. This is known as chilling injury. Freezing injury is generally caused in plant of the temperate region. When the plant are exposed to very low temperature, water is frozen into ice crystal in the intercellular space. With the further fall in temperature, water is withdrawn from the cell, resulting in increase in the size of the ice crystal in the intercellular spaces. The protoplasm of the cell is also dehydrated, resulting in its coagulation. Proteins are precipitate due to an increase in the concentration of the cell sap. Intercellular ice formation may also injure the cell by deforming the protoplasm mechanically. Later on, conversion of ice into water and its rapid re-entry into the cell may also bring about rapid mechanical distortion of the protoplasm. In condition of severe frost, water freeze even within the cell. This intercellular ice formation definitely result in killing of the cell. The small crystals of ice ramify throughout the cytoplasm, and their strong lacerating effect disorganize the protoplasmic structure, resulting in the death of the cell. There are many plants, particularly perennials, which can withstand ice formation. This property is called frost resistance or protoplasmic hardiness. It is believed that the property of frost resistance develop high osmotic concentration because of the cell. High osmotic concentration of the cell sap lower the freezing point and reduces the amount of water which could have been converted into the intercellular or intracellular ice. Plant can be hardened by subjecting them for some time to low temperature, slightly above the freezing temperature. In such case, protoplasm undergoes certain structural changes which prevent intercellular freezing and also minimize the intercellular ice formation. Protoplasm develop low structural viscosity and therefore can withstand deformation. The amount of free water decline and the soluble protein and sugar increases so that the freezing point of the tissue is lower. Thank you.